What's happening, everybody? Jay Shockblast here, and man, oh man, Batman Arkham Knight. So as of this moment in time, I'm still about 89% through. I have to do the Riddler storyline, but I'm kind of dreading it, and I wanted to actually do my review before I finish that storyline, because I feel like I'm at the height of how much I'm going to like this game, and I don't want to get frustrated and have that story be the freshest gameplay experience and possibly cause me to be more negative than I really want to be about this game. Because there's a lot of really great things about this game. I think it's an awesome game overall. There's just a lot of flaws, and I feel like as this review goes on, I'm gonna spend like 25% of it talking about what was great, and 75% of it kind of bitching about what I didn't like. So, and that's unfortunate, but that's kind of the way reviews go sometimes. So, I just wanted to establish that from the beginning. Um, as is the case with all of my reviews, I do them in one take, so I'm gonna leave the little mistakes in whatever. But um, I really just want to do this as like a free discussion of what I thought about the game. This is the proper way to divulge spoilers, give a spoiler alert, if you will. Um, there will be spoilers. I'm absolutely going to talk about a number of things with the game. So if you haven't finished the game and you don't want to hear those things, it is best advised that you come back when you have beat the game. Um, Obviously, spoilers are a touchy subject. I don't believe that anything that's on YouTube is really worthy of people complaining about spoilers, because they're videos of something you haven't done. Obviously, whether it's the title, whether it's the content of the video, whatever it may be, use YouTube at your discretion if you don't want to be spoiled. So that is my thoughts there. Let's get into the nitty gritty. I don't know what gameplay I'm going to use in the background as of recording this. I felt like I'm in a good place and I wanted to get it recorded. So without any further ado, let us move into it. The gameplay might not sync with what I'm talking about, but I don't know. I just wanted to have something in the background so that you guys can see. So let's start off with, man, this is an important franchise in my life. Rocksteady has created a monster, and in a way, I respect them for getting out and not turning this into an Assassin's Creed where they become a watered down, shell and expected yearly release. That's commendable. I like it that they're kind of leaving well enough alone and walking away, because I feel like this game shows that they're getting to that point where they're running out of things to do, and that sounds really negative, but in a way, it's obviously for a reason. But I think the trap that a lot of companies fall into is they have such success with something, and they just kind of keep going back to the well, and they eventually run out of water. So that, I think, starts to come out with this game. It is a great game. I'll tell you right from the front, though, I'm giving it a 7 out of 10, which is a commendable score. I probably would have given it an 8 out of 10 if there wasn't so much reliance on the Batmobile, but I'll get into that in a little bit. I just loved Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. I feel like Arkham Asylum's only flaw was the final boss battle with Joker. It was kind of a lame way to end the game, but Arkham City is quite possibly one of the greatest games ever made, and the ending of Arkham City is as good and powerful an ending as I've ever experienced in any game. It's honestly, like, it's right up there with Red Dead Redemption, which the game's been out for like 5 years now, so if you haven't beaten it, then you don't know that John Marston dies at the end, then that's on you, not me. Like those, like Joker dying and John Marston dying, are like two of the most powerful death scenes that I've ever seen in a video game. Like, and we're talking about two games that are, celebrated as games of the year of their time. Like two of my favorite games of all time: Red Dead Redemption, Batman Arkham City. Um, you know, this is just you can't really say much better than that for a video game developer. I mean, to make that iconic moment in time, they really nailed it. I don't really feel like there was an attachment to any character, that way in this, except maybe the Joker. Okay, so I guess I'll take that back. So I mean, these are some of the things that I loved about it, though. Like, I mean, it's just I'm establishing right now basically that this is definitely a franchise that's important to me. It's not anywhere near the level of Arkham City. Maybe close to Arkham Asylum, but it's the third. Like Arkham Knight is the third game, like third best game of the four in this franchise. It's better than Origins, and I know that Rocksteady didn't do Origins, but it's nowhere. It's not Arkham Asylum, and it's definitely not Arkham City. And that's kind of hard to watch a franchise like that go out, where I can't at least picture in my head wanting to say that this is better than Arkham Asylum, because it's just not. I mean, I guess the only part that's better is, the graphics have improved, and it's a bigger setting, but I don't know, man. Like, it's just not there, and that's unfortunate, because I wanted so badly for this to be the game of the year, and it's not even gonna, it's not better than The Witcher 3. I mean, I can tell you that. I don't know what else will come out that, Battlefront, I don't think it's going to be better than Battlefront. There's a lot of good games coming out, so this is not even a contender for me for a game of the year. It's which is unfortunate, because Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, those were. I mean, Arkham City, I don't remember what else came out that year, but Arkham City might have been my game of the year that year. And if it wasn't, it was pretty close. I think that was the year Mass Effect 3 came out, and Mass Effect 3 might have been my game of the year, but I don't remember. But like, that's neither here nor there. Moving forward, though, this franchise changed the way I feel about Batman. It made me really appreciate and start to fall in love with Batman, and that says a lot, because I think Batman generally is a very overrated character. And I know a lot of people are going to hiss and boo at that, but Batman, I get the attraction. I understand why people really like him as a character. I just think he's overrated, and I just don't. I've never really been a Batman fan, but now I find myself, like, through this franchise, and it started very early with Arkham Asylum. Like, that's how far back my about Batman goes. I really started to understand and appreciate the character a little bit more, and I think this game, though, my detachment, like, it's kind of like you start to, like, root for all of his minions, if you will. The theme is the same. It's Bruce, you gotta trust us. Bruce, you gotta trust us. And I understand that's the overlying theme of the game, and I understand, the purpose for that. But, like, you start to, like, doubt Batman in this game, because he's making decisions that he thinks are for the best of everybody, but he's not letting everybody, have their say in their life. He's trying to protect everybody, and that's one of Batman's flaws. It's obviously a major character flaw for him, and not every character can be, freaking Superman and have, be unstoppable. but like one of his character flaws is that you know he's just very overprotective of those he loves, and it makes sense. You know, as he watched his parents die at an early age. You know, um, so you know overall this game is it's solid. You know, look, Rocksteady knows how to make a good video game. As a video game, it's a fun video game. Like when you're able to just free roam and you know bebop around and do your thing, it is a fun video game. It's amazing graphics. Like they make a beautiful game. It's a pretty game. Just incredible graphics. The mechanics are great. There are very, very few points in time when you're outside of the Batmobile that I feel like I felt like, you know, hey, you know, this is clunky or whatever. Like, and that says a lot because it's not hard, or I should say, with everything you have to do, it's not difficult to fall into, you know, little mechanical issues, you know. Now, frame rate drops aside, I know you guys on the PC have your own issues and stuff like that. But, you know, if you're just playing it on the consoles and whatever, it's a great experience, like, as far as the overall gameplay goes. And, like I said, that says a lot. Like, I have a lot of issues at times just free roaming in Assassin's Creed games. And I find myself frustrated with the mechanics. There wasn't really a point in time when I was outside of the Batmobile that I ever said, oh man, I'm really frustrated with the mechanics of this game. So, you know, I know I'm not going to spend as much time waxing poetic about it, that, you know, there are a bunch of things that I really want to complain about. But don't confuse that with me not liking the game. Like, I mean, 7 out of 10 is... It might seem negative in today's culture where if it's not a 9 out of 10, it's a failure. 7 out of 10 is a really strong score. Not strong for Batman game, but it's still a solid game. I would still recommend it, but it's just not up to their standards, and maybe I'm penalizing them for that. But you'll understand why in a moment. Let me just tell you again, and it should go without saying, but the real star of this game is Mark Hamill as Joker. Now, one of the things that I absolutely loved about the story, and possibly the only thing I loved about the story, was the constant battle that Batman had with the Joker in his head. One of the few moments of the game where I was like, whoa, was when Joker appears for the first time. And I love the way that, you know, he's dead, but, you know, because he had his blood, it's kind of like his consciousness is like creeping into Batman, and of course the other four, I believe, Johnny Charisma and the others that I can't remember their names. Like, I love that aspect of it. I love all the hallucination scenes where, you know, you'll turn around and Joker's there, and then you turn around and he's gone, and just all the like random dialogue that pops up out of nowhere. Mark Hamill is the best Joker of all time. Do not tell me Heath Ledger. I know that Mark Hamill didn't have to act it out. Like, he has the benefit of doing voice acting. But there is no doubt in my mind that Mark Hamill is as good as it gets when it comes to the Joker. And, you know, I'm glad that we got to hear it one more time, because this might have been his best work, because he had so many lines. Like, the jokes were incredible. Like, he would randomly have poems about Barbara Gordon, and then the song where he sings to Batman. Oh, that's so incredible. Absolutely loved everything about the Joker. So, you know, even though the ending for him was a little weird, it made sense, though, because it's Batman locking him away in his mind. So, you know, that is basically, you know, when it comes to all the things that I love, that's kind of where I draw the line. Like, I mean, I love the fact that, you know, you work in Nightwing, you work in, you know, Tim Drake Robin, you know, you work in Azrael for a little bit of gameplay. You get to play as Catwoman very briefly. So I love the fact that you get to play as some of these other characters, and you have a little bit of a team-up element. I just wish there was more of that, and I feel like that's something that Rocksteady people have asked for a long time, was, hey, even I want to free roam as these characters. Like in Arkham City, you got to free roam as Catwoman briefly, and it was awesome. It was awesome. Like, so I'm hoping that there's more of that at some point, like with this DLC. But like, I don't know. Like, I just really wish there was more of those characters. So now let's get into what went wrong. Why is this only a 7 out of 10? I'll tell you, it would be an 8 out of 10 if there was no reliance on the Batmobile. But I'll get into that in a moment because I want to start with the main story, Arkham Knight. So for months and months and months now, we've seen Arkham Knight, and we've been told it's an all-new character that didn't exist, and I was pretty fired up about that. They made a character for the game, and the more and more you see of him, the more you realize he has a tie to Batman's past. And very early in this game, I'm like, God, this seems like it's Jason Todd. Like, this is the Red Hood story all over again. Well, like, I really hope this is not Jason Todd. And a lot of you guys spoiled it in the comment section. Thank you. Very early on. That, yes, this is Jason Todd. And I hated that. I really did. Like, I really felt like Arkham Knight should have been anybody but Jason Todd. Like, it could have been the Joker, and I would have hated it less. And that would have made no sense either. So, I really feel like they missed the mark here, because especially where they're one of their major vendors that provided the game, GameStop, like, really pushed Red Hood DLC. Hey, play as Red Hood DLC exclusive to us. You know, Red Hood. You know, hey, they even have an action figure of Red Hood that you can buy exclusive to their store. Like, I don't know. Like, and the worst part is, like, I know Batman at that point thinks he's still dead, but like, it isn't until he unmasked himself that he's like, oh my God, it's Jason Todd. Like, there's even Joker telling the story of Jason Todd. You know, like, it's so obvious that it's Jason Todd, and that part frustrated me. And the fact that it was so obvious to the viewer and the player that it's Jason Todd. If you know anything about Batman, you know, you should have picked up that it was Jason Todd really, really early on. I don't know, man. Like, I really hated that. I just feel like it's a cheap, you know, rip of the story, you know. And I'm a huge Arrow fan, but, you know, I really feel like Arrow ripped off a lot of Batman storylines, and I feel like, you know, this is kind of the same thing. I really wish they had gone another direction with it, but it is what it is. It's not awful, but if you don't know the story of Jason Todd, if you're not familiar with Red Hood, then for you it's probably not even a big deal. But for those of us who, you know, we are big Batman fans, well, I mean, I wouldn't even say I'm a big Batman fan, but, like, you know, if you're a big comic book fan in general, you probably know who Red Hood is. You probably know who Red Hood and the Outlaws are. For a lot of people, Red Hood's one of their favorite characters, and I'm certainly one of them. I'm a bigger Red Hood fan than I am Batman. I have a bunch of graphic novels for Red Hood and the Outlaws, so you know, it is what it is. It's just, I don't know. I really wish it wasn't Jason Todd. That's like a major gripe for me. Over reliance on the Batmobile. I have a little list here of stuff I need to talk about. I think for a long time, Rocksteady heard from the fans that they wanted to play as the Batmobile. And I'm really glad that they put the Batmobile in the game. I just think it's unfortunate that I feel like this game should be called Need for Speed Gotham and not Batman Arkham Knight. There's too much Batmobile. Way too much Batmobile. It's the whole reason why I'm doing this review now, before I actually finish the Joker storyline, because I've already looked into it and I know that there's going to be lots of Batmobile racing going on. And I'm not a racing fan. I'm not good at driving games, which is why I've left a lot of my driving stuff out of the videos. And it was frustrating for me. There was a point that I almost quit the game and said, I don't care. I'm not going to finish this game. Like, it's just because it's not an Arkham game to me, you know? Like, that's kind of what has left me a little sour. Like, I think one of the things about Arkham Asylum and Arkham City was, like, you felt like you were the world's greatest detective. You know, you felt like you were doing detective work. Running around in the Batmobile doing chase missions is not, it's not that, you know? Like, chasing Firefly through the city, you know, would have been cool if it wasn't for the fact that you have to chase after things for the Riddler, you know? And it would be cool if it wasn't for the fact that two of the major boss battles that you have with Arkham Knight are vehicle related. Like, there isn't actually a combat sequence with Arkham Knight. The most egregious for me is the Deathstroke fight. Like, you go through all these checkpoints where you're fighting all these bosses and, you know, checkpoint areas, and you finally finish all that, and you have to do almost the identical boss battle that you had with Arkham Knight with Deathstroke. And then when you beat Deathstroke's, you know, vehicle, he lunges out of it and you one-shot punch him and he's knocked out. Bullshit. You know, just bullshit. Like, if you play Arkham Origins, very early in that game, you have one of the hardest boss battles I think I've ever experienced with Deathstroke. It felt like you fought Deathstroke. In this game, like, I was so excited. Like, I'm a huge Deathstroke fan, and all of a sudden he lunges after me. I'm like, alright, cool. We're going to have a fight. Nope. Batman's going to punch him once, knock him out, and throw him in the back of his car. So, the throwing the characters in the back of the car was cool the first time you did it, but then, like, literally every single boss that you apprehend, you just put them in the back of the car and they just take it like chumps, you know? They're not even wrapped up or tied up or anything. So you're telling me that, you know, okay, so Batman's knocked out, or I'm sorry, Deathstroke is knocked out, and Batman puts him in the back of the car. They sit there and argue the entire drive back to Gotham Police Department, and then you open up the back of the Batmobile, and he's not ready to go and fight you again. Like, I don't buy it. I just don't. It's a weak mechanic, or, you know, whatever you want to call it. It's just, it frustrates me. And there's really no boss battles to speak of. Like, even when you're in the little warehouse area, or Red Hood's, or Arkham Knight's lair, if you will, whatever that's called, you know, you're not actually fighting him. You're sneaking up to him and then lunging up and then going into a cutscene, you know? It's not an actual boss battle. And it's like, you know, Two-Face, you like one-shot punch him and knock him out, you know? I guess Penguin is the only one of the group where I felt like, oh my god, like, I actually had to do something, and it was just basically pressing a quick time sequence, you know, to team up with Nightwing to knock him out. So I was definitely really frustrated by the boss battles, by just that in general. It just didn't feel like a Batman game. It felt like a driving game. And I know that I've had some discussion on Twitter with some people that they're like, okay, so what? But the thing is that that's not what I think a lot of Batman fans wanted from this game. Yes, I think we all wanted to use the Batmobile, but it should have just been like a free roam thing, and maybe, you know, one or two parts of the story you tie it in. But, like, for me to have to rely on it to do the whole Riddler storyline, it's just stupid, and I don't appreciate it. I really don't, and I'm afraid that that's going to prevent me from getting the 100% completion, because I really want it. But I'm going to keep trying. I've been avoiding those missions like the plague, but it's just too much Batmobile, and it's just, I don't know. I appreciate that Rocksteady listened to their fans and wanted to work it in. It just, I feel like they got a little too excited. They got a little too carried away. And it's almost like they jumped the shark a bit with the Batmobile. Because for me, like, gliding across the city is more effective than using the Batmobile. So that's what I do. I don't know, like, I love having the Batmobile when I gotta shoot something, like, don't get me wrong, but it's just, you know, could have done a little bit different. I really wish that they didn't over rely on it. The boss battle is just weak. I don't know, just to wrap up, I guess, you know, because we're pretty much done here. You know, it is a good game. Just those things right there, just not. I just didn't feel the same attachment to the story that I felt with the other two Batman games they did. You know, it never consumed me. Arkham City consumed me. I put it down and had to go to work, and I spent the entire time at work saying, oh my god, I wish this day was over so I could go back and figure out what happens next. I didn't really feel that with this game, and it makes me sad because I'm not even a huge Batman fan, but I bought, you know, the PlayStation 4 that, you know, with the Batman, you know, special edition PlayStation 4. I bought the collector's edition on Xbox One. So, like, I spent probably $600 on this game, you know. I really just, it's a franchise I believe in, and it's just not the going out it deserved. The end of the story where everybody knows he's Bruce Wayne, that made for some interesting conversations, so I appreciated that aspect of it. But I don't know, maybe I'll feel different when I get the 100% completion Nightfall ending, but I really just felt like they could have gone different directions for this, and they just picked this one. It is what it is, but you know, I don't know. It's just an unfortunate ending for an amazing franchise, and you know, it is what it is, I guess. I really do wish you could free roam it with the other characters. You know, it'd be awesome to run around with Nightwing, or, you know, Azrael or whatever. The DLC is a little disheartening. $40 for season pass. I hope it's worth it. If it's just a bunch of skins and, you know, some missions kind of like that Red Hood and Harley Quinn mission, it's a little bit disappointing. I really hated the way that they had all these different skins available at different retailers. That was awful, and it was a bad experience there too, because I'm a completionist. I want everything right from the get-go, and I especially wanted Red Hood. So what I ended up doing is I bought it at Best Buy, and I ended up getting the game like the day before it came out because it came with the console. So literally I went to the midnight opening at GameStop with my PlayStation 4 copy in hand, when it's not even supposed to be out yet. I traded it in, and I got their version with the Red Hood storyline. I mean, so basically, I ended up spending like an extra $12 by trading it in and getting their version of the game, which, to be completely honest with you, is about what I would have paid for it on eBay anyway, so whatever. Just so I could get the Red Hood. I really wanted to play as Red Hood, and it just sucks that, like, they distributed the DLC. Like, PC players, like, that happened to get it while it actually worked, you know, they have Batman Beyond skin right now, and I want that skin. That's an awesome looking skin. I know it's going to be in my season pass, and I know I'll get it in a couple weeks, but, like, I want it now, you know? Like, it's just not right that, you know, they kind of segmented everything that way. But that's the world we live in now in the gaming world. So what's next for Rocksteady, guys? I'd love to hear your speculation. I I feel like they're going to get out of the comic book games altogether. I mean, I think they are a WB studio, so maybe they'll do another DC, story. I would love to see some Arrow, an Arrow game, but I don't think that's what's going to happen. It's definitely not going to be Superman. Maybe a Justice League game in general. That would be kind of cool. Something like this, but where you can tag out different Justice League characters. Obviously, it would have to be like much bigger and everything, but we'll see, I guess. I'd love to know what you guys think. I would love to know what you guys thought of the game. If you agree or disagree with me, please be respectful. I'm sick of the disrespect that's going on in the comment section in these videos, especially the Lego Jurassic videos. Like, come on, guys, grow up. We need to all be respectful. It's just because you're, I don't know. Like, I don't want to turn this into that, but just if you disagree with me or something I say, let's just be respectful about it. Let's have a conversation. I wanted to love this game, and I don't love the game. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for what it is. I liked it a lot. It's not going to hold the same place in my heart that Arkham City had, which is Arkham City is probably one of my 10 favorite games of all time. This is nowhere near Arkham City. So it's unfortunate that it has to go out that way. I feel bad that I spent a lot of time complaining about stuff when it is still a great game in its own right. But I'm speaking from passion more than anything, that I really just wish that they went different directions, and I really feel like this could have been a much better game because they have it in them. They really do. Rocksteady is a great studio. I trust them usually. I just feel like they missed the mark on this one with the story, with the over-reliance of the Batmobile, and certainly with the boss battles. If there wasn't so much reliance on the Batmobile, like I said, probably would have given us an 8 out of 10 and felt better about it. But I can't escape the feeling that this is a 7 out of 10 game, and it shouldn't be. It should not be a 7 out of 10 game, but it is. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope I'm not awkwardly ending with just in the middle of some random scene, but I'm just trying to piece together this gameplay footage as best I can. So I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed my series of videos. Still a few more left. We'll see you later, though. I can use the